Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of the Pink Couch Chronicles. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm Lacey, if you don't know already. If this is your first time here, I need you to do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and join the Pink Couch Chronicles family. You really want to be a part of this family, y'all, because it's so lit. We lit over here. Today I wanted to talk about things that no one told me about having a baby. If you have not been following me for long, I recently gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, Everett Sophia Grace Alexander, on August 20th of this year via C-section. Y'all, I still cannot believe it. I can't believe that I had a whole C-section, and I cannot believe that I am somebody's whole mother. But anyways, there are some things that no one prepared me for or that I really didn't hear that much of. And I really wanted to share these things with those who are expecting mothers or who plan to be mothers in the future, because some of these things like really took me by surprise and I wish somebody would have warned me. And so I'm gonna do y'all a good favor and I'm gonna go ahead and warn y'all. So if you plan to have a baby, definitely take some notes. Let me know if these are some things that you've heard of or some things that surprised you, or just leave me a comment. So the first thing that no one tells you before having a baby is that you might have to get a shot depending on your blood type. Now, I am O negative, and the shot that I had to get was I think it's called a RhoGAM shot. I don't know if it's for all O blood types, but I know that I'm O neg, and so I had to get the shot. But it pretty much prevents I think bacteria from passing, like you passing bacteria onto your baby when you have during delivery. But you have to get one while you're pregnant, and you also have to get one like right after you have the baby, like while you're still in the hospital. So no one ever told me that. You might have to get a shot, of course, on top of all the other blood work that you have to do. Which brings me to my next point. You'll have to get blood work done a lot. Now, I figured that I would have to get, you know, my blood drawn every now and then, but I promise y'all, it seemed like just about every time I was going to the doctor, they were drawing my blood. Like, it was ridiculous. And I get it, everything's for safety measures. You know, they want to make sure that you're healthy, your baby's healthy, that nothing's going wrong. And so I appreciate it, but y'all, I had so much blood work done and I hate needles. So it was just a really bad experience. I always had to get my blood drawn, and then of course, because my iron dropped so low, I had to go in for infusions, which I've always been anemic, so I knew that was gonna happen. But yeah, be prepared to get a lot of blood work drawn while you're pregnant. Another thing that no one prepared me for is that while you are pregnant, your pelvis hurts. Now, let me just say that might be one of those things that might not happen to everyone, but it happened to me and it might happen to you. So let me go ahead and warn you. My pelvis hurt a lot, but it more so hurt when I was laying down in the bed or when I was trying to go to sleep. Y'all, like, I literally could not turn over in the bed without like wincing in pain. It was so bad. Like, I slept with a pregnancy pillow. I would sleep with pillows between my legs. It helped a little bit, but it just wasn't a ton of relief. So just know that your pelvis might hurt really, really bad. There's some science between that, of course, with your body like shifting to prepare not only for the weight of the baby, and that's kind of like making room for the baby, but it's also preparing you for birth. So your body is literally opening and expanding itself out to make sure that your baby has enough room to pass through your vagina to come out if you're having a vaginal birth. Another thing nobody prepared me for, this is the thing that inspired this video: your feet get bigger. Again, this might not happen to everybody, but it happened to me, y'all. My feet were already big and I could not afford for my feet to get bigger, but they did. Only one person kind of warned me, and it was like, I don't really know if this is gonna happen, because it sounds like it's one of those really rare cases, but apparently I'm one of the rare cases, and as I saw on Facebook, it's actually a little bit more common than I thought. But yeah, your feet might get bigger. I think mine have only gone up maybe like a half size, but according to some women on my Facebook, their feet have gotten bigger, like either a size bigger or a size and a half bigger. So be prepared. Your feet might grow a little bit. No one also prepared me for the lack of sleep that I was gonna get in the hospital. Of course, I already knew that having, you know, a baby, like the baby was going to be up, but it wasn't even as much as the baby being up, but the nurses, y'all, the nurses come in all hours of the night. They come in to do blood work. They come in to check your pressure. They come in to check the baby. They just come in and doing all kinds of stuff like all through the night. And it was just like the worst. Like, so between the baby waking up and the nurses coming in, you will not get any sleep at all in the hospital. No one also told me that I would be constipated. Well, actually, I lied. One person told me that I might be constipated. But anyways, I wish that more people, or I would have been more prepared to know that I'd be constipated after giving birth. Yeah, just, it's hard to poop after you give birth. I'm just being honest, y'all. After you give birth, you will be constipated for probably a few days, and it's gonna suck. Also, so I had a C-section, as I mentioned. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen, but nobody told me that I was gonna have to get a catheter when I have a C-section. I know, Lacey, they numb you. Like, what else are you gonna do with your bladder? Like, you can't control it. You're just gonna pee on the bedpan or on yourself. Of course they have to put a catheter in you, but nobody told me that. Not even the doctors, like the nurses. Like, it just kind of, like, it happened. It was like, oh, we're gonna put a catheter on you. And I was like, what? But yeah, if you have a C-section, you're gonna have to get a catheter. Another thing that I was not prepared for was the nurses coming in every few hours to rub and massage your stomach to make sure that your uterus is going down and it's going back into place. And it hurts so bad. They literally come in and like, they push on your stomach and they're really massaging it, and of course trying to make sure that like everything's going back into place. But nobody prepared me for that, and it was painful. They come in about every couple hours to do that. So yeah, be prepared for that, because that sucks too. I hope I'm not talking anyone out of having a child, because childbearing and being a mother is amazing, but there are just some things that you have to be prepared for. No one also told me that after giving birth, you will bleed for quite a long time. I probably bled for like 6 to 8 weeks maybe. Of course it kind of like tapers off, but I thought it would last maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. No, honey, you bleed for a good 6 to 8 weeks. Breastfeeding. So I could probably make a whole entire video on breastfeeding, and I might one day, but 2 things that no one told me about breastfeeding. The first thing is that no one told me that my boobs would leak randomly. I figured, you know, I'd have like a little drip like every now and then, but honey, these things be leaking sometimes. And that's when I know it's time to either feed ever or pump. But nobody told me that they literally like will leak, like whoosh. Nobody also told me that breastfeeding absolutely drains you. And again, I can make a whole entire video on breastfeeding alone, but nobody really prepared me for how draining breastfeeding would be. It drains you physically and it drains you mentally. It's really hard. And if you plan to breastfeed, let me just go ahead and say, prepare your mind, heart, and spirit, because it is a task. If you have had a baby, let me know what other things that I did not cover in this video that maybe you were not prepared for or no one told you to expect. And if you are planning on having a baby, let me know like what other questions you have about being pregnant or even about motherhood, and I will try to answer them the best way I know how. Thank you guys again for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment, share it with someone who was expecting, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.